Hey. So, we are in the woods this morning, or it's morning for me anyway. And we're going to do a card pull. I brought 3 decks out this morning for today. Um, but this is a timeless reading, so at whatever time and whenever time you find it, it is meant. I just want to acknowledge my 36 followers because, oh my God, like, I have 36 people in this vast world of YouTube that subscribe to my channel. And that's so cool. I know that 36 is not a big number, but it's bigger than 0. And I'm just so grateful that there are subscribers to my channel, and I hope and pray that my channel messages and my content finds the people that it finds and that it resonates with the people that it resonates with. And I'm just grateful for the people that it is resonating with as of right now. So yeah, let's get into it. So we have the Skeleton Tarot, Bare Bones, and oh no, my rubber band popped. Bare Bones. Can get some bare bones messages, but it doesn't feel like it feels bare bones in the same way that, like, we're going into fall where I am currently in time, space, and geography. And fall is a season where the leaves start changing colors. They change into these beautiful reds and oranges and yellows. So that's also giving me, like, there may be themes about safety and security right now coming up for you, stability, themes about, thank you, themes about, thank you, themes about your connections to others as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards coming out. So the first card, so this is the last card that came out, but it's the first card that I am seeing, as the rest of them look like this. They all came out together, as you saw. So the first card that's showing itself is the Death card. And like I was saying, right now I'm sitting in the forest in the beginning of the fall energy, the beginning of the fall. So that feels like a very pertinent message coming through here for someone. Endings in the cycle of life, the power of regeneration reminds us that life is finite, helps us appreciate how well or poorly we are doing in our life experience and soul. Death's arrival is always assured but rarely welcomed. Transformation, death, rebirth, and cycles. Yes, cycles. So, fall is the beginning of the ending of the life cycle of a seasonal year. So I'm getting that maybe you're in I'm hearing a bunch of numbers, 30s, 40s, 50s, maybe 60s.
Out the tree.
That's a large range of people. But yeah, that's all they're giving me on that. One of the things that I often say to people when they're like, I'm too old to do this, or I'm too young to do such and such, or my time has passed in that, or they're getting down on themselves about something they don't know, something they need to learn. It's not over until it's literally over, until you have literally died. Your body your bodily vessel no longer is able to house your soul in this cycle. That is when you're done. That is when you're done. And ironically, I was listening to a astrologer this morning, and he said something similar. And now that I'm thinking back, he said something similar to that, as well as a reader that I was listening to also said something similar to that this very morning. So yes, cycles ending, death showing up. Also this morning I read someone within my communal tribe write that she knows multiple mothers who have lost children recently, whose children have passed. And some of those people that I know,
quite a mushy there.
So this might be a time of deaths, both in the physical, very literal deaths, and also some deaths I'm hearing of maybe past selves, deaths as far as ending cycles, feeling like you need to end certain things, but it's not quite time yet. You just know that the death of it, the ending of that cycle, the death of it is imminently coming, right? So you have the Three of Cups in reverse. We have the Five of Cups upright. We have the Ten of Cups upright. And we have the Queen of Swords upright. So the Three of Cups in reverse is giving us overindulgence and discord. And the Five of Cups in the upright is giving us accept a disappointment. Hidden possibilities have been revealed. Mourn, but all is not lost. Turn around. So yeah, these two cards are sort of mirroring the message of the Death card here, of like, I feel like this first card, this Three of Cups in the reverse, is asking us to not overindulge in the comforts, not overindulge in the things that comfort us during this death cycle, right? To allow some of the discord, to actually allow some of the discordal grieving energy into the space. Yeah, let yourself feel it. Let yourself acknowledge it. Let yourself know it to be true. Be honest with yourself about maybe not knowing what's next exactly. Yeah, saying not knowing what's next exactly, but I feel like these are two separate pieces of the cycle. I feel like this is the overall arching thing of this reading is going to be the fall, the death. And this is in this sort of don't overindulge in the external discord, right? Like you are able to deal with things, your feelings, in the appropriate circles and cycles. It's not meaning that you don't have support. Yeah, it's not meaning that you don't have support, because in the right side up of this Three of Cups, we would have gotten gather closest friends and celebrate appreciation for life and abundance and sharing. So you have the opportunity, you have the spaces around you that can hold this grief with you. But if you overindulge in that and not looking at the positive things, not pouring energy into what is next, not pouring energy into um, actually processing the feelings. So we move into this Five of Cups. Like I said, actually processing these feelings, accept a disappointment, because there's there's times where we weave not just ourselves, like where we look forward and we dream, right? It's also going to be a situation of we step onto a particular timeline, and therefore space-time continuum and universal law of connectedness start to weave together a potential pathway for that particular frequency timeline. And when things start to shift for us and we acknowledge that things are shifting, when pieces are removed due to deaths, due to discord, due to overindulge, I'm hearing like habits, like certain things are an overindulgence habit where you're you're doing too much of it. Like it's too much is going into that that comforting aspect, to maybe drinking too much, smoking too much on your phone, too much in the news to validate your sadness. Like there has to be a space in the in between where you allow for joy. That has to be a thread. And this hidden possibilities, when we look at this Five of Cups, this person is looking at the cups that have fallen. So overindulging in, because they say, you know how they say misery loves company. Um, we have to be willing and able and honest with ourselves on how much is going right. Like there's still cups there that are untapped, cups there that are waiting for you to turn around and see them. And all is not lost. You just might need to make a new turn, right? And one of the themes that have been coming up a lot recently, not just for myself, but also for those around me in multifacets of my life, is the idea of reintegrating and bringing back into ourselves, our active selves, the inner child wisdom of what it is that we love, what it is that brings us joy, what it is that fills our cups, just because we enjoy the frequency and vibration that it brings to us. So I'm going to pause on that side, and I'm going to pull out a so I recently got an Embracing the Shadow deck, because I wanted to. Many decks talk in polarities, like the tarot. There's like the high and the low, there's the upright and the reverse. There's the polarities, and the polarities are good to speak in sometimes, but sometimes we just need to be clear on what is in the shadow. We need to be clear on, okay, the closet the closet is a space for us to store things, but exactly what is in the closet Do we need it in there? Can we take it out? Is it time to clean it? And I really wanted to get a deck that clearly spoke to the shadow. So we're gonna get a card from there. And this card, Peace Spirit, is going to be an enlightenment on what is giving more precise shelf, more precise space to look at, please. I'm noticing how it's coming in chunks. So it might be a clearing like of a full box, maybe. Anything on this side? So we have strength and vulnerability, bringing this beautiful, is this a crane? You know, it's funny because one of my spirit animals within my woodland environment, and when I say my, I mean like the one that I walk every day, is an egret. There's white egrets and there's a blue, like blue-gray egrets. And I often call them cranes. I know they're egrets and I know that they're not the same thing. But I've since corrected myself to acknowledge them by their proper name. But it's funny that we get the crane card out when that's one of my key spirit animals. So it's strength and vulnerability, true courage. I said carriage. So carriage giving me like the night, maybe. No, I'm getting like the speed of the night in a carriage. Like you're being carried. Like you might not recognize it because you don't see the bottom. You don't, like, if you're in a carriage, you're not exactly looking out to know exactly where you're going. Even if, like, say you're in a train or you're in a plane, you can look out the window, but you're being carried. You're not in control. However, you do have sort of a clear destination. So maybe recently your new steps have unveiled themselves. I'm hearing maybe in a still small voice. Or maybe the voice is a still small voice. But you have to speak to it. So like if you're being called to do something that seems out of your ordinary. So like for myself it was make more art, which is not out of the ordinary for me. I just had locked into working so much that I didn't really have space to make the art. Like even this is art to me. So that tapping into that, the birds are really kicking up right now. Tapping into what is calling you. I'm hearing make your own art. It's gonna feel vulnerable, but there's strength and vulnerability, and you have to really dig into the strength of vulnerability, because vulnerability is actually just showing your full self, showing who your full self is. I'm going to read it again. True courage, because I never finished it. True courage is allowing yourself to be seen, even in your most raw state. So, like, make that art, whether it's good or bad. Make that jewelry, whether you consider it to be good or bad. And now we actually get an acorn on the, it's like raining acorns right now. It's so crazy. I hope I don't get hit. So even in your most raw state, so it's all going to feel fresh, it's all going to feel new, it's all going to feel like a blobby baby. It's going to feel unsupported. Like babies cry because they need something and they're not sure whether you know, and they want to tell you. So they scream, they cry, they do what they can, right? To be, goodness gracious, the acorns. It's pretty funny. Um Sitting here watching this happen. But they are the baby self. So we talk about the inner child, and we often think about the part of ourselves, the inner child that could speak, the inner child who knew they were an artist, a singer, they knew that they were this or that or whatever, right? They knew what made them feel good and feel bad. And in this moment, I feel like we're being asked to let those versions that we have healed, let them be healed, and not to stop parenting them, but to know that they are okay because you've done the work. And I'm just going to flat out say, because you've done the work. Like, not everybody does this depth of work that I feel like you have done, right? So you're ready. You're ready to find that strength and vulnerability. You're ready to be strong yet vulnerable, vulnerable yet and strong. And it's coming in to sort of answer, yeah, I got two cards here. It's coming in to answer that Three of Cups in reverse that's talking about overindulgence and discord. Like, you heal your teenage self and you're so proud of healing your teenage self that you never move on to a different self. You never move on to the joy of what your teenage self would have found joy in, right? And I feel, and heal it. The joy that you would have found, and then healing any overindulgence and discord that you now know as an adult, and refinding it healthily. So it's bringing in some sacral energy, some root chakra energy, safety and secure. What does safety and security look like for you? All of those things, knowing that it's ever changing because we don't control the whole of everything. So there's a vulnerability to the letting it flow. And as a stellium Scorpio, it's a little bit easier. Scorpio, stellium, and Cancer moon. It's it's a little bit easier for me to flow with the fun and be sort of fidgety, but it's something that people need to embrace more now because of its adaptability. And you have, hi, Leaf, and you have the ability within you at this time to do that. Please trust it. The other card was releasing judgment. I swear, y'all, I do not glance at the cards until it's time for me to bring them into the reading. Releasing judgment, like I just said, you have the ability. You have the ability. Release judgment of the outside world who have not done their work. They will when it is time for them to do so. Everything is working in its own divine order. Do not fear your darkness. You are not good or bad. You are human and evolving, right? Like, it's time. It's time to just turn around and walk forward. We're looking at the back of this figure. Just turn around and walk forward out into your own wilderness, right? Breaking karmic cycles at the bottom of the deck, and I felt like I needed to look at it before we move to this other side. And it would be sort of an answer here. I'm taking this card. It would be sort of an answer to, oh shit. It would be sort of an answer to this death. Like, you're breaking karmic cycles. Own that you've broken karmic cycles and let that shit go. Period. So we had the death card in as the foundation, or the clear message of the reading. And as we move into this other part of the reading, bottom of the deck again, foundational energy is coming in as this breaking karmic cycles. And these cards look very similar. They have some similar themes here. So we have the horns. So we might be talking about Aries, Taurus, Aquarius. No, not Aquarius. Aries, Taurus, Capricorn energy with the horns. Sagittarius with the horns, with the centaur type of energy. And it's like you're moving from this death on the warrior side, right? You're here to this closing karmic cycles where you found your peace. It's a shifting of where you were separate from the force, separate from being grounded, sort of needing to be the warrior and ride above. Not hearing rides above, but ride above. You had to ride the wave above everyone else's sort of perceptions down here, in order, like there's a crown wearer and a woman. So maybe there's also many skeletons down here. So breaking karmic cycles of the overarching society, breaking karmic cycles of I'm hearing the divine feminine, the divine masculine, your place in as a divine being. Breaking karmic cycles, recognizing repeating patterns, and taking action to break generational wounds. So it's time to move into, I feel like I should just completely do this. Like, yes, this is the foundation. This is where you've come from, but you're moving into this place of peace, and everyone will still see your horns, but they also see and feel your divinity. And it may not feel good to those that the cycle was with, right? But you have to know that if it's a repeating pattern, and I'm feeling the need to like lean into serious stuff, you need to know that if it's a repeating pattern that continues to repeat itself outside of you, like maybe you've gone no contact, maybe you've gone less contact, maybe you've gone only necessary contact, and the cycles continue to repeat outside of you, step out of the cycle and allow it to do what it's going to do so that you can find your peace. And you've done that. And in doing that, I feel we're shifting, we're moving. And in doing that, you're in this 10 of Cups energy now. It's time for you to come into the 10 of Cups energy, babes. Profound joy in relationships is what you need or need to appreciate. Happiness with a partner is key. Life of joy and fulfillment, mature love, blessed unions. So this happiness with a partner, right? This always shows like a couple and some kids, and that's beautiful, but we're also breaking generational cycles. We're also breaking societal cycles and understanding that a partner, your partners, you can have many partners. I'm hearing like The A team. Isn't it great when a plan come together? Like, you have, what are they trying to say? God is so buzzy right now. Sorry, I'm just perceiving this rock stick combination underneath my leg. That's not exactly comfortable, but they're saying that, like, partnerships are meant to be many, not in the sense of, like, maybe in the sense of like polyamory. No, maybe not, they're being clear, very clear, not in the sense of sexual and romantic polyamory, but allowing yourself to have, allowing yourself to be like the forest. A forest is only a forest because there are many trees, there are many different entities. So allowing it to be something where you don't have to blend, because you have so many different cups. So we were talking about over here where it's like, turn around, there's still two cups there, right? And these two cups might be your spouse and your kids, or your, like in my case, it's like my kid and my dog. But then you have on the other side of that all these other cups that when you turn around, all these other cups show up. And also, what I'm recognizing in this Ten of Cups card, what's sticking out to me is that they're waving goodbye to the kids, and the kids are waving goodbye. But everyone is full, everyone is happy, everyone knows that there's a beautiful journey to come. So I'm feeling like maybe this breaking generational cycles, this breaking karmic curses, this being the person to recognize the patterns and step back from them may have been rough. It may have been a battle. It may have been this thing where you were the villain. However, you're stepping into this space now where I'm hearing it's not over between you and me. Like, some of these cycles, some of these trees, right, in your forest, they're now at a distance. Because you are more of the purveyor. You live within this forest of being. So you recognize that while quantumly both you and the tree are one, right? But then you also recognize that in this 3D, in a recognition of the healing part of the 3D, is that you are both one and separate. So you don't have to give up your home comforts because the tree is weathering the storms. The tree is made to weather the storms. It thrives that way. You cannot bring the tree into your home. Like, there are parts of you that need to grow and they cannot be walled in. And that's what's going to, you got to let your kids, your dreams, you got to start letting them out, is what I'm feeling. Because that's what's going to bring you this Ten of Cups. And on the Ten of Cups card is normally the rainbow. This is bare bones, it's no color, but it's still bringing through that energy of the rainbow. So you may not see all the colors as they are right now or as they will be. And that's okay. They still are there and they're waiting for you as you pick up each one of these parts of self and fully lean into it and express it and examine it. And not examine it for fault, just examine it for being what it is, holding that strength and vulnerability with self. And then we also have the Queen of Swords here. Be strategic. Situations and relationships call for detached, logical thinking, ready to answer questions and offer guidance with wisdom. So maybe you are a reader, maybe you're a healer, maybe you're a channeler, and this is coming in like right on the tail of me finishing reading that. Know when you are define for self when and where you want to be the teacher. I'm hearing define when and where you want to hold these spaces. If we're dealing with spaces that are repetitive in repetitive cycles, that's not a space where you're necessarily the teacher by verbalization. You're more so the teacher of frequency, because you have to come out of that cycle. You have to ride above it. Let your part within it die so that it can move differently. And let what happens be divine, therefore letting it go, right? Not going back and grasping. Letting it go is going to be your 10 of cups. And it's okay to be strategic and look at the situation for what the situation is. It says relationships call for detached and logical thinking. You've thought with your heart. You've thought with your feelings. You've moved with your heart. You've moved with your feelings, and things have continued to go this way. So let them, and have that loving detachment. I'm hearing. Yes, have that loving detachment to get the world off of your shoulders so that you can be okay. I'm hearing be okay with being an empty nester. Maybe there were a bunch of eggs um, that I'm hearing don't put all your eggs in one basket. Maybe you put a lot of your dreams and eggs into this one direction. And it's now time, with the releasing of cycles, with the healing of self, with the meeting of new tribes, meeting of new friends, meeting of new um, feelings, entities, spirit guides, quantum frequencies, bringing in new light codes, bringing in new understandings of self, allowing yourself to crystallize your DNA. They're just throwing all these things out right now. It's time for you to detach. Don't overindulge. It's time for you to detach. Satnam, Satnamo, Satnamidu, Midu Makta. Yeah, it's time for you to detach. The energy in the woods got real big all of a sudden. Acorns flying all over the place, leaves flying all over the place. Man, if you're hearing this message, good job. Good job on doing the hard work. Good job on doing the dirty work. Good job on being vulnerable and stepping up, and maybe even being shut down once you stepped up. And when you got shut down, you accepted that shit and you moved on. You allowed the doors to be closed in your face and you moved on, knowing that you showed up with a heart full. Not because you were trying to manipulate a situation. Yeah, they're telling me I could go into all the opposites of why, of all the opposite whys that you did not take. But I don't need to do that. You already know what they are. You showed up full of honesty, full of heart, in full honoring of what the divine was asking or telling you to do. You showed up, you took deep breaths and you embodied your highest self, and it's bringing you into this 10 of cups. It's bringing you into this place of sitting on your throne. You're on your throne, and it's not that you don't know what's going on. And you're ready to answer questions if questions are asked, but you're not answering questions that aren't being asked anymore. You're not giving information that was not requested. You're not offering guidance and help where it was not requested of you, because you understand that cycles need to cycle. And throwing in your 2 cents, I'm hearing like, what was that band? Sixpence None the Richer. Like you gave your they're literally saying you gave your money away. And that's beautiful. It was meant for that person, that entity, that place to have that energy from you as I'm hearing an invitation for change, but it's always just an invitation. So now you're honoring where and when you're being asked for guidance and when you're not. And what that's doing is helping you to overcome overthinking and paralysis. Not every problem needs endless analysis. Trust your instincts and take action. Just drop in, right? Not everything needs endless analysis. If you're watching someone cycle in their cycles that they've been cycling in, they've been riding this bike forever. Let them. Don't overanalyze it. Don't allow your inner selves who recognize the patterns to overthink. Well, what did I do to cause it? How do I take it there? How do I no. It was cycling before you showed up. It's like walking past a cyclist on the trail. They're not out there riding their bike because you're out there walking. They're just out there riding their bike. And they're going to do the loop just like you're going to do the loop. You're just doing it in a different way. But taking on and thinking about others' problems, others' behaviors, and things like that can lead to this overthinking and paralysis, which then keeps you out of your 10 of cups because you're not waving it goodbye. You're not seeing the rainbow. Anything else? So I feel like that's too many cards. But the card right here is the mask of happiness. Are you hiding sadness behind forced smiles? Authenticity heals deeper than avoidance. Show up. Show up full. Show up full. If you are partial contact, not these cards. If you are partial contact with someone, then when you show up in the same spaces, and especially if you're doing it from a place of love, keep it. Keep it. You know, you can hold silent love. You don't have to respond to everything. Responding is how we get into overthinking and paralysis, because now you've stepped into the cycle. Now you've hopped into one of the bike wheels and you're wondering why it has you spinning. Let go of the old you. You are not who you were. Honor your past, but do not cling to it. Honor who you've been. Honor who they want you to show up and be, right? Who they believe that you still are, while also honoring that you not that person no more. And internally allow that person, right? Let me keep that one because that feels right. That one and the last one, but I don't remember what the last one was right now because I'm just flowing through the message. Honor letting go of the old you. Yeah, and this came in to answer and expand upon the Queen of Swords. Be strategic. Situations and relationships call for detached logical thinking, ready to answer questions and offer guidance. Be ready to do that, but you don't have to. And in that space of recognizing I don't have to show up for these things that do not serve me, it's letting go of the old you, knowing who you are now, honoring who you are now, sitting fully in who you are now. Sitting fully in who you are now. Oh, that look cool. Look. With the light, with the sunlight over the head. Sit fully in who you are now. And yes, it's going to close cycles, but in it closing cycles, in it creating space, in it creating distance, because distance I feel like has come up a couple times in this reading. But it's okay. There's one thing that I've noticed. It's a frequency of it's a certain thread frequency within the rope of fear that is sort of innate to us all, and we have to honor it and acknowledge it so we can move past it. And I call it the village mentality, the village fear. So say we create a society in this little village, way back, and there's this large swath of green space around us that we have not traversed fully. And at night there's sounds like if you've seen the movie The Village, that feels like a pertinent visual and energetic context for this right here. So maybe go watch that. But just waiting for that to die down on the sound because I don't have my mic out. It's funny because I'm getting close to closing the reading, and that's what showed up right as I'm saying let go. Certain things might happen, but everything cannot ride on your shoulders. You're one person. And we have to let go of the village mentality where it's like, if you go out in the woods, you could die because such and such went out there and they struggled, and when they came back they were all battered, scorned, and now they're like crazy sitting over there in the corner talking about the things that they've seen. That person was supposed to keep going. They got scared and they came back. And then they helped weave that fear into the village. Not from a place, many times, not from a place of animosity, but from a place of love. And when I say that, I'm thinking like, for a depiction of that, think about like Moana and what's the other one? Coco, I think, where like the families were so adamant on certain behaviors and certain parameters and certain hard set no's that did serve the safety of the family, but it did not serve the growth of the possibilities, right? Because someone went out and they died, or they never came back, so the assumption was that they died, which in all honesty, they may have just went out there and went too far to find their way back. Maybe they got chased by something and they ran. I always say they ran 15 moons and then they got so lost that they couldn't turn around and come back, but they are fine. They found another tribe, they found another way of being, and they thrived, and no one knew. So the idea that was passed around and weaved within is that if you go out there, you could die. And if you're listening to this message, especially if you've made it this far, you went out there, babes, and you didn't die. You didn't die. You're so alive. So alive. And while you may have things that hurt and bother you and disappoint you, like we talked about, accept the disappointments. Accept the disappointments, because there's hidden possibilities. There's hidden possibilities for you to be on your throne, on your discernment throne, on your growth throne. And you may be viewed like the reverse of this Queen of Swords is insensitive and cold-hearted. I'm also hearing insecure. You may be, that may be how the outside world, these karmic cycle folks, these karmic cycle entities are seeing you. But it's on you to know that you're not being cold-hearted. It's on you to know that you're not being insensitive. It's on you to know that you're not being insecure because you have vulnerabilities. You know this. You know this. All right, we're going to end that part, and we're going to start closing out with some of these angel cards. I'm sorry this message got so long. No, I'm not. I said it, and I feel like I said it really fast too, because Spirit was like, no, this is what we do. And when I say this is what we do, like I'm a somatic therapist. I call it psychic somatic therapy, and psychic somatic shamanism. And the minimum that I typically do in my in studio is 60 minutes. So I'm used to riding the energy waves at a minimum of 45 to 60 minutes for the full system to be fleshed out. So who did we get? We got, oh shoot. We got Metatron, y'all. Listen, your path is so exponentially and divinely blessed. Don't you let anyone make you forget it. And I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but probably because I know the energy. I know the energy. Look at that. Heavy ass acorn just fell right next to me. But I'm never scared. Acorns falling all over the place. And that might be how you feel. Acorns falling all over the place around me, beside me, literally right here on my blanket. And there's a fly on my notebook minding my business. It may feel like that, but you are so divinely blessed. So let's get into this Metatron card. Heaven to earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. Your current situation is in alignment with your mission on earth. Whatever is happening right now, whatever is dying, whatever cycles are ending, is for a reason. And it's a divine reason. As above, so below, babe. You have dug up, cleaned out, moved around, juxtaposed, flipped upside down. I'm hearing holy water bleached. That's weird. Holy water bleached the hell out of your spiritual floors, hallways, whatevers. The pearly whites. And spirit sees you. The divine and all-knowing sees you. And they are so proud of you and me and us. All right, we're going to look into the book. I just got this deck of cards. I just got the shadow cards, and I got these 22 archangel cards because, again, I wanted a very clear channel. Okay, Metatron. And there's a plane. You're flying high right now. Heaven to earth. Heaven to earth. I'm hearing heaven on earth. We each get our heaven on earth for doing the work, right? And it doesn't mean that there's no squabble, I'm hearing. Heaven is not squabbleless. We have this la 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 dee da version of heaven that's been shoved down our throats to keep us from actually rebelling against the things that are wrong. We know that there's squabble. We know that there's disagreement. We know that there's yes and. We know that there's light dark. We know that there's day night. We know that there's male female and everything on the spectrum in between those polarities. And you've honored them. Good job. Let's see. Metatron, page 66. That number's been coming up a lot. So that might be significant for you as well. Metatron, the throne next to God. The throne next to God is said to be one of the youngest of the archangels. Again, you have the children coming through. Alongside with his twin brother Sandalphon. Kabbalistic texts support the idea that he once lived upon earth as Enoch, who was a prophet and the great-grandfather of Noah. As an angel, Metatron is guiding this age. This powerful archangel governs the excuse me. This energy is so big I can barely read these words off the paper. Okay. This powerful archangel governs the sacred sciences, helps us understand the interconnectedness of all things, and is supporting us as we enter an age of awareness and growth. See? Into this age of awareness and growth. Your message. When Metatron comes to you, it's because you are a part of a powerful shift that is unfolding on the earth during your lifetime. So proceed, keep going, don't give up. There is a sacred bridge of light between heaven and earth, and that bridge is you. Your life hasn't happened by chance or accident. You've been chosen. So you might resonate with being chosen ones. Hi. The divine has recruited you to fulfill a great mission that will bring healing and change to planet Earth. You might feel like you're on a roller coaster, to be unsure if you should continue or not. But there's a karmic alignment occurring, and therefore, what you are facing and pushing through now is is absolutely in alignment with your mission. Energetically, there is a cleanup process unfolding, so it might feel a little bit messy or overwhelming. But trust that you are on the right path and your angel team is supporting you on your mission. If you are ready to take the next step on your spiritual path, let the angels know loud and clear, and they will begin to lead the way like a spiritual GPS from within. You have a calling. Respond. The earth needs you. I feel like that's going back to the beginning of the reading, where it's like there are things that are dying, but there are also things that are being birthed at the same time, and you are the ones who have done the work to clear your closets and clean your floors and organize your internal home so that more can come in. You've taken the things that you know are good and you've set them aside. Even if you don't know, you have so much abundance right now. As an artist, I've been like a crow, like collecting little things, art, in my art closet. I actually have an art closet, of pieces that I'm like, this is gonna turn into something. And you may have been doing that too with all these acorns. You may have been squirreling away, right? It's time. You are ready to take the next step on your spiritual path. Let the angels know loud and clear, and they will begin to lead the way. Okay, so let's take a moment. We're going to close this out, and we're going to call this in. And I'm going to look at the cards, and I'm just going to channel in a meditative prayer for us. So inhale and exhale. Inhale, let your muscles relax. Exhale. One more big breath in. Nice big breath out. Dear Archangel Metatron, Sandalphon, the light of God, the peace of death, help to move us forward, help to guide our steps. Bring us to places that see our vulnerabilities as strengths and celebrate our movement through hard times. Bring us into spaces that are not centered around judgment. Bring us into spaces that are not centered around disappointment or misery loves company. Bring us into spaces that build and support true courage. Bring us into spaces that build and support our human evolution. Bring us into spaces that help to illuminate hidden possibilities. Bring us into spaces where we don't have to be hyper vigilant of toxic patterns. Bring us into spaces that won't wound us. Bring us into spaces where we can feel, experience, and witness profound joy within relationships. Bring us into spaces of partnership that will be the key to a lock on the door to our success. Bring us into our lives of joy, where we hear directly the guidance and wisdom of our spirit light team. Let us honor our past while walking forward into our future, divinely guided, held, and protected by Archangel Metatron. And the God of all things. Amen. Amen. Ashe. So shall it be. Take a deep breath in and a big breath out. One more big breath in. Big breath out. One more big breath in. Feel it all the way at the top of your head, the back of your head, the back of your throat, the tops of your shoulders, heart, solar plexus, center of the belly, seat of the pelvis, down through the legs, out through the feet. Inhale, exhale. May this reading serve as an activation to move you forward. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being aligned. Thank you to my 36 followers and growing, I pray. Create a great day.